Hello everybody, my name is Doomfish. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can make a simple and efficient squid farm in Minecraft. So this farm is pretty big. You can build it to whatever scale you want. Obviously, this is going to be more efficient than some other smaller farms, but this produces around 1,800 ink sacs per hour, which I believe is pretty close to one full single chest per hour. So unless you need a ton of black dye, you can build one much smaller than this, and I'll show you how to do that in the tutorial. But all it is some water streams suspended in a river biome in the squid spawning range, and then some fence gates trapping that, so that when the squid spawn, they sort of will randomly go ahead and fall out in between these water streams here, fall down to the bottom, die of fall damage, and the drops get picked up and put into this chest right here. Like I said, this particular farm makes around 1,800 plus ink sacs per hour. So yeah, let's show you the materials needed for this farm. So here's the materials you're going to need that will scale with the size of the farm. So you'll need some slabs, some normal solid blocks, some fence gates, some hopper minecarts, some hoppers, some redstone blocks, some of powered rails and normal rails, and some sponges. Now, the bigger the farm, the more of these things you'll need. But yeah, you'll need a lot. For example, you'll need a lot of these slabs, blocks, and fence gates, but you might need less of the powered rails or normal rails. Now, regardless of the farm size that you're going to make, these are the materials you'll need. So you'll need some water buckets, 2 chests, 2 comparators, 10 redstone dust, 2 hoppers, 3 sticky pistons, a redstone block, a redstone torch, a lever, a pickaxe. I would recommend netherite or diamond with at least efficiency 5, and unbreaking 3, just to make your life easier. Also, you will need a beacon and something to activate it with, and you will also need some glass, around a half stack will do, around 2 stacks of scaffolding, and a door. So the first thing is that we want to make sure we have a river biome that is going to fit what we need for this farm. So I would recommend having a nice, long, straight river, and this one isn't the straightest, but it'll do for what we need. Also, for the water biomes, such as other parts of the river, like that part over there, this part, even that river all the way over there, you're going to want to make sure that there's not too many other water biomes near where you want to build a farm. So for building it right here, which I intend to do, this is a good spot because that ocean over there is far enough away to where we probably won't have to worry about it, because we are going to be AFKing a little bit in the sky, so that we don't have to worry too much about blocking up other water sources. So the first step is to go ahead and make a little rectangular outline that is 7 blocks on its short side, and then some distance out on this side. So I've just made a very small rectangle compared to the one that I showed you in the beginning of the video. This is because this farm is going to be a little bit smaller, just to show you a more reasonably sized farm. So you want to make sure that inside of this rectangle, so inside of this like 5 by something rectangle here, we can go ahead and hit F3, and we can see that every single block inside of here is inside of the river biome. Now on the outside of this border, it's okay if some of your blocks are in like the plains biome or the taiga biome. All that matters is this water on the inside. So now go ahead and block up your areas on the side. So basically take this rectangular outline you made in the middle of the river and go ahead and take it all the way down to the bottom of the river so we get a fully enclosed little area. So now that that's all done, what you're going to want to go ahead and do is block up all of the water. I would use sponges here inside of this area. So you can go ahead and like close off parts of the area. This inner area is small enough to where you can just sort of place sponges on the walls, like down here and here, and get most of it in one or a couple of different places. And you'll also need to clear up the water in the surrounding river biome and any nearby water biome. You don't have to go too far out. Like I'll do this part of the river, that part of the river that's technically a river, and pretty close all the way near that ocean biome. Now, we can ignore these lakes here. We only care about ones that are technically part of the river or the ocean biome. So if we go ahead and hit F3, look at the left-hand side of your screen, you will see that this is the plains biome, even though there's a little water lake here, so we don't have to worry about this water in particular. Alright, so most of the river in that direction and in that direction, pretty much to the ocean, has been drained. It did take a little bit of time, and I did have a lot of sponges. So the little tip is to sort of block off some areas, so like especially around these big bends, sort of separate it into the smaller areas, and then go ahead and place down your sponges in there, and then you can take them to the nether, place them and break them, which is maybe a bit quicker than using the furnace technique to turn the wet sponges into the dry sponges. So next up, we need to resize our little area here to accommodate the squid a little bit better. So on both sides, we're going to place down some additional blocks, like so. So on the long side, we're going to place down blocks around the edge, and we can break the blocks on the inside here as well. And we can also do this on the other side. This is because our first barrier was a little sort of like visual representation of where the river actually is and where our farm is actually going to be producing squid. And this is like the actual sort of walls of the farm because we do need to fit some other components in there that aren't spawning spaces for squid. So now that we have our full area ready to be dug out, the next step is to go ahead and actually dig that area out. So what I'd recommend doing is grabbing yourself your beacon, setting it up, giving yourself haste 2, and then going ahead and digging out this area. So the dimensions we're going to dig this out to, we're going to dig all of this all the way down. We're at around like y equals 60, water level's like 62, so maybe like this block right here. We're going to head all the way down to y equals 30 and dig out this entire area. Now if you fall in a cave just like I did, don't worry about them, you don't have to light them up, you can just leave them as is. So there we go, this is what our area looks like, dug out all the way to y equals 30. You can see this is y equals 30, the block below us is y equals 29. And for each of these caves, we can go ahead and just block up the sides here. We don't have to light them up or anything. We just have to make sure that these sides aren't visible where our giant hole is. Also, this is a good time you can destroy your beacon, pick it back up, put it in a chest, whatever you want to do with it, because you won't really be needing it right now. So now from y equals 62 in the hole down to y equals 46 in the hole, which is about right here, we're going to place down some fence gates around this side and this side. So we're going to start with this side here. What we're going to do is we're going to look and we're going to say this is y62. Place blocks down here, place our fence gates. We're going to go all the way down to y equals 46. You can tell we're almost there. 47, 46, like so. And then we're going to go all the way along the right side, like so. And we're also going to go ahead and open these gates as well. And then go ahead and just do the same thing. So fill in all that all the way on the wall here. So here's what this row of fence gates should look like, all the way from the top at y equals 62 down to y equals 46 down here. Now we're going to do the same exact thing for this wall right here. We're going to place our fence gates down at y equals 46 and at 62, cover that wall as well, open them, and we're also going to do it for this block right here. So we can count in a space of 1, 2 from this block, or 1, 2 from this fence gate right here. So there we go, we have like these 3 walls of open fence gates right down here. They're all pretty much the same, just in different locations. And the next step here is to head to the bottom at y equals 45, so right here. And we're going to place down fence gates here, 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 and here, sort of making a floor down. And we're also going to want to open those fence gates up when we're done placing them down. So now that all our fence gates on the bottom are in and opened up, what you're going to want to go ahead and do is head to the top here and place down some water buckets all on the top here. Now, fair warning, this is going to be a pretty laggy process, in all likelihood. Just run around here, place down the water buckets, and once all the water settles, your computer will stop dying, and you won't lag nearly as much. So just endure it for a little bit, and you should be a-okay. And also, go ahead and fill in the water in this area as well. So I'm at the bottom of our farm here, and you can see, even though we don't have our collection system in, the squid don't really care, and they're falling to their death anyways. That's what we're going to do in the next step. So now at one end of the bottom of our farm here, we're going to break down these blocks right here, these 7, and go ahead and place down some redstone blocks right here. Then what you're going to go ahead and do is count 7 blocks again, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then go ahead and break another row here, and do the same thing until you get to the end there. So next up, head to this end right over here, the one opposite the one we started at, and what you're going to go ahead and do is dig out 3 blocks in this direction, and again, you might see these caves, that's fine. 3 blocks in this direction for all of these blocks on the wall. So next up, right underneath these blocks that we dug out earlier, so this little hole right here, we're going to go ahead and do is break a line of blocks right here, then go ahead and break 2 more to the right here, break the blocks above that, and go ahead and clear out a little space on this side, and go ahead and place down a double chest. Then place some hoppers facing into that, like so. Go ahead and place down some 7 blocks behind these hoppers back here, and go ahead and on each of these redstone blocks, we're going to place down a powered rail. Each of these non-redstone blocks, we're going to place down normal rails all the way to the end here. And on this hopper, we're going to place down a powered rail like so. And then go ahead and do the exact same thing for each of these lines right here. And there we go. Should look something like this when you're finished. Let's go to this side back here. We're going to place down some redstone dust on these blocks right here behind our powered rails. And then what you're going to want to go ahead and do is place a little floor down here, because we're going to put a redstone contraption right here. So first up, on the right side of this platform here, we're going to place a block here, we're going to count a 4-block space here, place another block right so. Then go ahead and place down 2 hoppers facing into each other. Grab your comparators, face them out of the hoppers like so. It might be a little tough to place them in this tight environment. Place down some redstone dust here. We're going to place down 2 sticky pistons facing in. And we're going to place a redstone block on top. Then we're going to go ahead and put down half a stack of any item in one of these hoppers right here. And there we go. Now I've cleared out a little bit more space right on this side. And what we're going to want to go ahead and do is place down a torch right here. So I've gone ahead and cleared out around 2 blocks more of space back here. What you're going to want to go ahead and do is place down a repeater facing out of this torch, set to about 2 ticks. Break the block down here, put a sticky piston down with the block on top. Then we're going to go ahead and place down a redstone repeater set to 4 ticks here. And then go ahead and connect this up with redstone dust right here. So the last step here is to go ahead and place down some mine carts with hoppers on these powered rails right here. And then on all these blocks directly below the farm, directly above these rails, we're going to place down some slabs like so. And there we go, our farm is pretty much complete. The last thing we need is our AFK spot, which I'll show you how to do in just a moment. But you might want to set up a nether portal somewhere down there where we can collect our drops, because that is our output chest right down there. So, back at the surface of the farm, what you're going to want to go ahead and do is place down enough scaffolding until you get to Y130, right about here on your farm. So this might be around a stack, most likely, of scaffolding. You might need up to a stack and a half, but you should stop once you get to Y equals 130. So here we are at the top of our scaffolding, and then what you're going to want to go ahead and do is place down a couple glass blocks right over the farm. So you're going to want to place down around 5 glass blocks like so, and then go ahead and make a 3x3 square around this last glass block on the end, just like so. Make a little house by going 3 up on each of these sides, all the way around our building, and we're just going to place down 1 block here, 1 here. We're going to go ahead and grab our door, and go ahead and place it in the front here, and this is where you're going to be AFKing. So that's going to do it for today's video, and we're just going to take a look at how this farm looks now that it's completely finished. Obviously, we'd be AFKing at the top of the farm, but down here and down the sides, we can see the squid drop down, fall to their death no matter where they are, and then eventually those minecarts with hoppers are going to travel across, pick up all those items, including all of the ink sacs, and then go ahead and put them in that chest right down there. This is a much smaller version of the farm I showed you at the beginning of the video, but you could do a much larger version even of the one I showed you, whatever fits your needs. This is going to produce a pretty good amount of ink sacs. Even this small little farm is going to get you pretty much everything you need if you just want books and quills, some black dye for like black concrete or black wool, or basically anything else you could ever ask for. So that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you found it informative. If you did, don't be afraid to leave a like on the video, and you can subscribe for more content just like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.